Third way is hiring a director of anti-extremism to lead a messaging campaign against DSA. And the price point, the salary for this job, this role is 150 grand a year. Here's Dave Weigel making a joke about it.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hasan Piker. I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
Or in the ring.
No, in real life.
I personally love this meme now because third way, much like this washed up Nazi, this washed up pedophilic Nazi, are basically, one, not only joining the ranks of washed up pedophilic Nazis and neo-Nazis, but also they themselves have become washed up in the process. That's where we're at. This is a which side are you on moment, okay? Are you on the side of American fascists? Are you handing it to the fascists and saying, well, they are kind of correct on this? Or are you an anti-fascist? That's the question, right? And it's clear that you think that there is a nefarious force here. Someone like myself represents a far more nefarious force than Trump. And you haven't actually figured out that this is insane. You cannot recognize your own madness in this moment. You handed it over to the fascists. Yeah. Announced in a New York Times story that has generated significant commentary is what you would write in a memo to donors, which is what Third Way Matt is doing. Clearly, they think using $15 million to fight the left is better for fundraising than $15 million versus Republicans. They might be right. In this day and age, right now, if you are literally spending all of your resources attacking the left flank instead of attacking Trump, then you are pro-Trump. Because that's precisely what the Republicans are leaning into. Republicans want to cause division in the ranks. Republicans want to make it seem as though the Democrats are not united. Republicans want to do everything in their power to drive a wedge between left forces, the DSA, and centrist Democrats who want to protect their corporate sponsorships and want to protect their comfortable sinecures. That is exactly what's going on. The base will not fall for it. I don't believe that the base will fall for it, right? Here's the thing. We have to close ranks. We have to unify at all costs. Because the Republican strategy of claiming that the Democrats are a bunch of commies, that strategy isn't to win over independents. That strategy isn't to win over moderates. That strategy is to divide the base. And unfortunately, they know that people like Neera Tanden will lean into it. They know that people like Neera Tanden, first and foremost, want to protect their jobs. They want to protect serving the interests of corporations and be the connective tissue between corporate lobbyists and hand-selected candidates. So that's what they're leaning into. So if you are a liberal, it's time to lock in. Do not feed into that division. Insane people out there, for sure, especially on Twitter. I think their brains are just fried by the algorithm, right? But like one of the great examples is this. David Crowley came out. Last night, David Crowley was asked like, oh, would you campaign with Hasan or something, right? And I was, and he said, no, of course not. He's too divisive, which is fine. It's his, that's his prerogative. It's fine. I responded with, this is devastating news for me. I, however, wish Crowley the best of luck for the Wisconsin trifecta. I hope he takes some of the great policies that brought out 300,000 Wisconsinites into consideration as the Dems work to defeat Tom Tiffany as a unified front. This guy responded with, move on. That's literally what I'm doing. David Sirota says, my dispassionate macro analysis of why media elites and corporate Dems so loathe Hasan the Hun is that it's about power and business. He's built an audience without their permission, and he uses his platform to amplify populist Dems who also aren't asking their permission. He threatens corporate Dems and corporate media's political attentional monopoly, and they're extremely mad about it. It's truly alarming that Neera Tanden at this liberal think tank at Center for American Progress is highlighting and collaborating with Laura Loomer. And now former workers at Center for American Progress, like Matt does, and numerous others, are demanding answers. Lee work for Center for American Progress. Matt does work for Center for American Progress. Wajahad Ali says, Center for American Progress was published the anti-Islamophobia report, Fear Inc., which I co-authored, has its president, Neera Tanden, now actively promoting the biggest proponent of Islamophobia. The center urgently needs to clarify whether there has been a change in position and policy. Do you all approve of this? If so, why? Matt Duss says, as a co-author of that report, I would also like to know what's going on here at Neera Tanden. To your point, I'm going to say this once, and it's really easy to understand. The main reason why Fox News is covering Hasan so much is, yes, because he has influence and has to frame him in a negative light. But the real reason it's constant slander is because they want someone, some nut to kill him. Yeah. No, that's literally what it is. That's what's going on for sure. And Neera Tanden is playing into it. Okay. Trump 2.0 is straight up fascist. It's not like a joke. It's not just exaggerated anymore. It is here. And we live in the post-World War II universe. Liberals have to budge a little bit from their pro-capitalism position in an effort to lock in and create the most resilient force, the most resilient anti-fascist force that they possibly can muster. Not a Loomer fan at all, though I agree with her Ukraine view, but on this, she's right. That's what she said. And then she deleted it and then simply retweeted it. Not trying to be combative, but how do you reconcile the fact that liberalism sides with fascism historically? There's two components here, and it's important to recognize. Number one, a powerful social democrat who is a liberal at the end of the day actually chose the right side of history. His name was FDR, okay? So on the one hand, if you look at Nazi Germany, liberals thought collaborating with the fascists would keep them at bay, would allow them to control the flow of capital once again. And that led to Adolf Hitler rising to power, concentration camps, the Holocaust, and everything else. But on the other side, there was a collaborative effort between the Soviets, Stalin, FDR, and Winston Churchill. We live in the aftermath of that successful collaboration between liberals and communists. That's my point. My point is there's a bad example of liberals collaborating with the fascists and fascists taking over, and there's a good example of liberals collaborating with the communists to defeat fascism, at least for the short term. Now, people will then point to the Cold War immediately afterwards, but that's a bridge we will cross when we get there. There is a far larger problem here, okay? The far larger and far more immediate issue is fascism. I'm not saying liberals aren't opportunists. I'm saying that they should recognize the moment and the necessity for this moment. Dog, are you kidding me? Politico, David Crowley reiterated after winning the Democratic primary, he will not embrace the moratorium on data center development that Francesca Hong ran on. No moratorium, Crowley said in the interview. Oh my God, it's literally, oh my God, it's Kamala Harris again. It's Kamala Harris all over again. It's just like, this is for Wisconsin and for many other places around the country, this is literally the same as like the Israel situation. They are just refusing. They are just refusing. They're like, nope, win or lose, we fight with our values. And I guess their values are against the wishes of the masses. Please don't do this, David Crowley. David Crowley. Yeah, Crowley's to the right on Greg Abbott. Now, Greg Abbott is lying because he wants to win. Greg Abbott is lying, but at least he's lying. Because the Republicans have recognized how unbelievably unpopular these data centers are with their base even. What are the Democrats doing? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, dude. They will never learn this lesson because it's not a lesson that they want to learn. I don't understand it. Like, look, this is the most like libtarded person on election Twitter. Polling on data centers is really, really brutal. In Wisconsin, 76% of voters said the costs outweigh the benefits, including 67% of Republicans. Gallup found 71% of Americans oppose one being built near them, including 80% of 18 to 34-year-olds. Heat map found 55% would support a national ban. Now, this guy or gal, I don't know, this person is one of those people that's like, oh, you got to pivot to the center. You got to pivot to the center. You got to be moderate. You got to be moderate. You got to be moderate. And even they realize how fucked up this issue is. Tom Tiffany already said he's going to block data centers being built on farmland. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Dude, Tom Tiffany's going to win and then build the data centers. And there won't be a trifecta. Oh, this is the only way that you this. Okay, I'm telling you right now, this is the only way you this race up. The only way. Let's look at the number on data centers real quick.
Thank you, my friend. There is no debate when it comes to where people stand on AI and data centers, and simply put, it's electoral poison at this point. You rarely see this type of agreement. Oppose building AI data centers in your area.
Bro, what did I say? What did I say? Oh my God, what did I say? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Oh my God. I said there's two things that the base is united on. And it's like bipartisan for the voters. I mean, Israel and data centers. And Democrats are like, how do we still run closer to both Israel and data centers? I am losing my mind. Holy Toledo!
Holy Toledo.
If you want to put a third thing in there, it's mass surveillance by way of flock cameras. Oh my God, they can't help themselves. They literally are just like, we need to lose. Crowley told Politico he plans to use this is a meme, right? This is a meme. Crowley told Politico he plans to use GOP rep Tom Tiffany and President Trump as foils that bring everyone together. Oh my God, he's running the harm reduction route. Oh my God, he's running the harm reduction route. Oh my God, he's running the harm reduction route. David Crowley, please do not do this. David Crowley, please don't do this. Please, 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 I beg of you. David Crowley, please do not run the harm reduction route. If he comes out and completes the trifecta and says he's like always, Wisconsin will always be pro-Israel no matter what, it's over. It's over. The Republican in the race, Tom Tiffany, understands the negative, the disapproval of data centers. David Crowley's political ally, Francesca Hong, is a political liability if she campaigns with Crowley on the campaign trail. They're worried that her brand of democratic socialism and past controversial social media posts about defunding the police and canceling Thanksgiving could affect Crowley's wider appeal. State of flock and tear, Wisconsin, baby. Bro, what is happening? Is this a joke? Come on, tell me. Tell me they're joking, right? They're like, haha, just kidding. Of course we're going to lean into the platform, some of the platform that brought out 300,000 people in Wisconsin that we defeated by less than 1%. Please tell me that you're joking, right? This is a joke. There's no way that this is actually, they're going to run on just the pure anti-Trump. That's it. That they're going to run on pure anti-Trump. Kamala Harris did this. That's crazy. Can't say he's not consistent.
I would argue we have to listen to independents and Republicans because we don't have a monopoly on good ideas.
The playbook is Abigail Spanberger. Yeah, the problem is Abigail Spanberger was the only option at that point, and she pivoted harder to the right after she won, not before she won.
Governor Tony Evers, welcome. Thanks as always for...
Yeah, I saw this clip. He says like the left is going to have to fall in line or something.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and get you for one more segment. Oh, we're good. I guess we no break.
Okay.
Even better. All right. So what do you say to, I heard from a lot of them this morning because I've been critical of Fran Hong's campaign on the radio. What do you say to supporters of Fran Hong who are now looking at this election? We didn't get her. Now we have David Crowley. What do you say to those folks?
Yeah, they have to play along. I mean, not play along. They have to be part of it. We want them to be part of it. Obviously, a whole bunch of people. Is David going to get?
Yeah, no, he let it slip, and then he caught himself, and he was like, I mean, they have to be a part of it, not play along.
Behind some of the things she talked about, no. But at the end of the day, the big issues are something that I'm sure she feels strongly about. I hear her talking about schools all the time, and so she'll be a good person to have around.
Do you think there are any lessons to be learned from this primary? I wish there was. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Do you think there's any lessons to be learned from this primary?
I wish there was. I've been thinking about that a lot. I think, and I don't want to put it on the pollsters because I personally knew that if I was with David and we went around the state, all we had to do was visit people and talk to them. There's a whole bunch of people that were not, they didn't know who to vote for, and how can a pollster catch that? They can't, and so I just think it's just important that we do a better job when we're running for office to make sure you're getting up north as
No lessons at all. Like, it wasn't like it was a blowout. You know what I mean? It was like you came in, you did the electability argument, and it worked. And there's no takeaway. 300,000 people. An open Democratic socialist who was running on an anti-Thanksgiving campaign almost won, okay, with only negative earned media that amounts to millions of dollars, 0 linear TV ads, almost blew your back out, and you got no lessons from that? None. Not even a little bit. Like, no, the good policies, the excitement on the campaign that brought a lot of people out. Nothing. Dude, thank God Michigan is not like this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? Thank Christ Michigan is like, we're all united. There's only one Democratic Party, and that's the anti-Trump party. We're going to go and win every vote that didn't vote for us. Oh, my God. Could you imagine if Abdul was like, what lessons are there to learn? As a matter of fact, that wasn't even what I was saying, and they tried to make it seem like that's what I was saying, you know? And thank God, Haley Stevens and Mallory McMorrow and even Governor Gavin Newsom, like everybody immediately hugged and kissed Abdul, and they were like, we're on a mission. I've never seen a cocky leftist victory. They're always gracious, even in victory. Meanwhile, I've seen many cocky centrist moderate victories. Haley Stevens asked about you again, so to condemn you. Oh, my God.
Should he condemn Hasan Piker? Should Hasan Piker be on a stage?
I believe he should be condemned. I do. I said that. That's what I was just saying to you. I was saying on election day, I said that. And if asked again, you're asking me, I do think he should be condemned. I don't know what the guy has to do with Michigan. Israel comes to me in my dreams.
I hit the wrong button.
What gives?
Haley.
What gives?
Just say, who cares about Hasan Piker? We have an opponent to defeat. I don't understand why a Twitch streamer has become a primary fixture in a Senate race, and I have a pretty good idea as to why. It's because Mike Rogers can't run on being close to Donald Trump anymore. Mike Rogers can't run on anything that Trump has done that's positive for Michiganders. And I, as a Michigander, am sick and tired of talking about this guy. He's not from Michigan.
What gives?
You know, you don't have to just be like, yeah, he should be condemned. He should be condemned. It's over. The race is done. You don't have to serve AIPAC anymore. Well, she probably wants this. She probably wants a different office, but just it's okay. Let's just not, just for the next couple of months, and then we can get right back into it. Okay. Stop giving her pointers. You pretend she wants to win. No, she does. I mean, she's a party apparatchik.
Should he condemn Hasan Piker? Should Hasan Piker be on a stage?
I believe he should be condemned. I do. I said that. That's what I was just saying to you. I was saying on election day, I said that. And if asked again, you're asking me, I do think he should be condemned. I don't know what the guy has to do with Michigan.
Yeah, to be fair, she didn't even say Abdul should condemn him. She just said she condemns me. So that's fine. You know? No, she's cool. She's still our girl. Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin, you're in my heart, but unfortunately, you will not be top of mind. Yeah, you guys deal with that on your own, okay?
Includes 70% overall. But look at this. On the lower end of the spectrum, you still get 3 in 5 Republicans. You get more than 3 in 5 in urban areas, 63%. And then what's really interesting is you might expect, hey, Democrats in rural areas, rural folks, they don't necessarily see it the same way always when it comes to issues. But on this, they do. 75% in the rural areas and 76% of Democrats. You see across the board clear position.
Rurals are less interested in data centers than urbans, because that's where the data centers are being built. That's why there is a 60 points negative approval on the GOP side. Where do the Republicans live? rural areas.
Position, which is the vast majority of Americans and voters are against building AI data.
Yeah, I'm sure the numbers for pro data centers will be better in the future. It's not like shit's getting worse. Yes, that and Israel. I'm sure by tomorrow, Israel will be a more popular country. Okay? Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers couldn't remember Kamala Harris's name during the 2024 Democratic National Convention roll call announcing the nominee. Watch the whole clip. Is insane as the Biden debate fiasco.
Wisconsin, how do you cast your vote?
Thank you, Badger Jason Ray, for all your good work. As a proud governor of the great state of Wisconsin, we're home of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I mean, they're blitzed. He's blitzed, probably. He's hammered. So you click AI dog shit, but not this. What is this? What are they looking at? Fear and I've wanted to draw all these guys together for forever. My fave podcast for a year and a half now. It's nice, beautiful. It's great. You know what we're looking at? A big, beautiful data center being built in our backyard. Israel comes to me in my dreams, and so do data centers, okay?
Centers, and that's why I said at the top, it's simply put electoral poison at this point. When it comes to the politics of it, it is very clear people are against it.
I'm not talking about the facts here, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. Just this is how people feel about it, and it's pretty clear, and you don't see agreement like this on many issues. So on, these data centers, if they are going to be built, how do people want to see it done?
One of the key nuggets that those who want the data centers to be built will say is we have to stay ahead of China when it comes to tech, right? So there's a great poll question that essentially formulated this, right? Americans on building AI data centers, slowly to address local concerns, of which there have been many, or quickly to maintain the tech edge over, folks like places in China. And on this one, it is a 4-to-1 clear blowout. I mean, we're talking about 78% of Americans, voters say slowly to address local concerns. Just 1 in 5, 21% say quickly to maintain the edge over China. And again, what we see is across all of the different political and demographic groups, everyone agrees that they should be built slowly to address local concerns. And so when we start off at the top saying, hey, there is this debate, there really isn't much of a debate when it comes to the politics of it. The vast majority of Americans at basically every single camp are in agreement on this. They want to be built slowly to address those local concerns.
And credit where credit is due. I think this question is actually phrased really well here and lets people come down on a side here with advantage potentially for both sides. How do people view the impact of artificial intelligence in general right now?
Yeah, I think this is part of a larger debate, Johnny B. And it's just, look at this. Say AI development is bad for society. Again, what you see is clear majorities across the board. Groups that don't normally agree on anything agree on this one. 63% of Republicans, 74% of Democrats, 75% of independents, and 70%, as I come over to Johnny's side of the board over there, overall say AI development is bad for society. Again, the electoral politics of this are very, very clear. AI and data centers are simply put electoral poison at this point.
It will be notable to watch how candidates deal with this heading into November and beyond that. It really will be.
Back in July of 2024, 53% of voters who said they were extremely motivated to vote said they were.
Yeah, I just checked, by the way. Tom Tiffany literally launched his campaign with a hard line on data centers. Tom Tiffany is going to outflank David Crowley on data centers. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's literally the same as Donald Trump being like, I'm going to bring peace to Palestine. I'm going to bring peace to Gaza. I'm going to end all the wars. And Kamala Harris is like, no, we're staying the course. Oh my God, everything used to be a relitigation of 2016, and now everything is a relitigation of 2024. I'm losing my mind. Oh my God. The worst part is that moneyed interests on this issue are almost entirely on the 21% side. So if you support the 78% position, you'll probably get nuked into oblivion by the money faucet anyways. Thanks, Citizens United. Awesome democracy we have. Yep. Oh my God. Don't do it. Just let them do it. I don't want Wisconsin to be controlled by an election denying freak. I want Wisconsin to be able to do redistricting. I don't give a shit. This is the same with all of my criticisms of Kamala Harris. I said, David Crowley, I know you hate me, but please don't do this. People hate data centers. 76% of Wisconsin thinks the cost outweighs the benefits. Even Tom Tiffany is lying about taking a hard stance against them. That's a perfectly valid quote.
Can you name one issue where you disagree most with her? One of the biggest issues?
Well, one of the biggest issues that we did have a disagreement on was related to the data centers. She wants to see a moratorium.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's Tom Tiffany posted this. Tom Tiffany is posting this. Tom Tiffany is going to slam the data center issue into the ground here. Oh my God, what is going on? Bro, just say Thanksgiving. Just say you love Thanksgiving. Why would you say data centers? Just say Thanksgiving. Say I don't want to abolish the police. Say I love the police. Don't say data centers. I feel like the Walter White meme in the car going, no, no. They found his old tweets too. Yeah, I mean, Dirt McGurk is his. Thanksgiving might be saved now, but Christmas isn't with David Crowley, aka Dirt McGurk. Yeah, this was known before the campaign. That's not new shit. Dirt McGurk is his alt account that he was using to say some. He's a poster too. Okay, he was saying some shit on that account as well, bro. Are we gonna find out why David Crowley was trailing at 6% when he dropped out? Is this the find out part? Like we fucked around and now we're about to find out? A fun online story with this primary was Ken Klippenstein convincing the left that Crowley loves data centers and will bulldoze the House on the rock on Mark Zuckerberg's orders. Wait, what? He is literally pro data center. No idea what you're referring to regarding Klippenstein. I'm describing Crowley's stance based on his words, some of which you can read below. I've seen that vid, and if you listen to how it starts, it strikes me as an artful pivot away from his opposition to a moratorium. All data centers are not created equal. Our job is to make sure that those data centers are paying their way, that they're paying for the full energy cost, that they're paying for the infrastructure and grid upgrades. Heck, I think that they should be subsidizing our energy users across the entire state. It's that careful pivot to prairie populism that has some Democrats, especially the moderates and centrists, who are still raw after Michigan, hoping Crowley might claw his way to nomination. While everybody's afraid of these data centers extracting our precious resources away, how about we find ways to extract as much possible from these data centers to help our local units of government? All right, let me play that song again. We got to play that song. No, we're pro data center now. Oh my God, I'm pro data center. I love, maybe if I say that, they'll be like, actually, this is a bad idea. We hate Hasan. We hate Hasan. We hate Hasan. So he's pro data center. We hate it now. You think that could work? What do we think, guys? You think that could be a successful method here? What are we thinking? Are we feeling that? Are we feeling that? Here, look, this is my favorite song. This is my favorite song, bro. Listen, guys. Listen to this. Data centers are kind of growing on me. Me too, man. Me too. Yeah, data centers come to me in my dreams. Moratorium on AI data centers. Crowley, the government needs to partner with venture capital firms to expand AI data centers all over Wisconsin. Stop. Yeah, if he was even vaguely left and in the lead, elite media would have spent 3 weeks obsessing over his old tweets instead of just shrugging them off. But instead, he wants to ram AI data centers into every corner of the state and listen to Republicans on trickle-down economics. And that's why the old tweets are not getting mentioned, which they shouldn't at this point. They shouldn't get mentioned. Okay, we're not gonna do this. I'm not gonna like. I'm done. I'm done talking about David Crowley. We're done. Wisconsin, you're in my heart, but you are no longer on my mind. After I look at this Oppo dump inside the GOP secret Francesca Hong Oppo file. So here's why I wanted to look at this, not because like this is adding insult to injury or anything like that, but I want to see what their mentality is, right? Like what they thought was going to be the successful strategy, right? And I guess this will also this will basically allow us to understand what they're going to try to do to Abdul. This is a great insight into what the midterm strategy is, right? Francesca Hong's primary loss of Wisconsin gubernatorial primary wasn't just a blow to the socialist left, it's also a bummer for the Republicans who were salivating over running against her this fall. Many of Hong's most unpopular left-wing ideas, defund the police, condemning Thanksgiving as a weapon of genocidal colonialism. Her constant invocations of white supremacy were already well known to the primary and ultimately helped sink her campaign. Hong rarely backed away from many of them. But Republicans had apparently many more arrows in their general election quiver after Hong narrowly lost on Tuesday. A source sent me the entire 349-page opposition research dossier put together by Republican Tom Tiffany's gubernatorial campaign. Assembled with the expectation that Hong would be his opponent in November, now, next to Useless, the book marked Privileged and Confidential by the GOP research firm that compiled it, offers a tantalizing glimpse into how Republicans were prepared to bombard Wisconsin voters with a showcase of Hong's Portlandia-style rhetoric and controversial votes in the state legislature. Much of the research files devoted to Hong's repeated use of social justice language that became chic among the left in the Trump era. At times, it reads more like woke Mad Libs. Some of the hits. In 2020, she wrote, "The neighborhood gentrification is violence against black people." In 2021, she sponsored... Dude, America's the only country where you just get punished for being right, by the way. Or maybe, I guess there's plenty of other countries where this happens too. But it is kind of funny where they're just like, look at this woke-ass nerd. It's like, how dare she, correctly point to things? Like, did she go a little bit overboard? Certainly. But, like, it sucks. It sucks so bad that... Like, we're a nation of bullies at this point, where we're just literally like, look at you, you stupid nerd. Stupid nerd, kill yourself with your nerdy ass opinions. What the fuck? No, she didn't go overboard. No, there's a chatters. Please. There is a way to frame these things. When I say she goes overboard, I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm saying there is a way to frame these things. And when you're running for office, especially in a state like Wisconsin or any state really, you can't be as overboard with your language. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I just said she's not wrong and that this country is where people are punished for being wrong. Isn't that lying? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not lying, okay? Here, I'll give you an example. Medicare for all, socialized medicine. There are two ways to present it, okay? Should you come out and be like, I want to literally make sure that no one ever has a job in the for-profit healthcare industry. I want thousands of people to lose their jobs. Or should you say, I want Medicare for all because I want millions of people to have healthcare? There's two ways of presenting it, okay? God, some of you guys literally think the only way to present issues is the most annoying way possible. How are we this autistic? How are we this autistic as a community where we think LARPing to the maximum degree and be as repulsive and as toxic as possible about our moral posture is the best way to win people over? This is what I mean when I say it's crazy. This is what people mostly mean when they say woke one was crazy. This is what they're talking about. You. They're talking about you. We learn from the best. Crying. No, I never do this. I try to stay away from this all the time. Half the time, I'm yelling at them doing exactly that, and then they clip me and they say, Hasan is a reactionary. But here, I'm going to go through the process piece by piece and explain something to you. Neighborhood gentrification is violence against black people. Here's a great way to reframe that. Improving our neighborhoods is awesome, but we should find a way where we don't displace the existing inhabitants. Oftentimes, black and brown people who are on the older side have been living in these neighborhoods for many years. It would be a great disservice to displace them. Look at that. Did I water it down? Did I water it down? Did I lie? Is that lying? Okay, let's see another one. And for the record, I'm not even faulting her for saying this shit. It's 2020. Woke one was crazy, right? Like, I'm not even faulting her, but she's not running for office at this point. So, in 2021, she sponsored a resolution calling systemic racism a public health crisis and demanding the state legislature create an equity-oriented country and society. No issues there, no problems there. For years, Hong's bio on X described her location as occupied Ho-Chunk land rather than her home in Madison. Again, who cares? There's plenty in the book, too, about Hong's years-long crusade about defunding and abolish the police. Although many of the comments were already reported by CNN's tenacious Andrew Kaczynski, Hong made a number of remarks about systems of harm and how police forces are tools of white supremacy. In 2021, she called for the abolition of the carceral system, which Republicans would have surely spun as Hong calling for prison abolition. On immigration, Hong has loudly called for ICE to be abolished, which is not a secret, but the book references ICE agents as terrorists and fascists, terms that repel swing vote. No, that's bullshit. She's right on that. The environment is totally ripe for that kind of commentary. Literally, the much more moderate progressive Peggy Flanagan won on that, and then went and on the night of her victory speech, she said, "We are going to rip ICE apart." Okay? So no, that's just wrong. That's just Republicans are stupid. They don't understand how much people demonize ICE and hate it. June 2020, Hong reiterated calls to defund the police multiple times. Again, not a problem there. You can just like reframe it, Zoran method. Just be like, I think that it was far too vague. This slogan was far too vague. I'm not interested in sloganeering. I'm interested in solutions. And I think what we should do is understand that cops have a very tough job. They just want to serve their communities, lie a little bit and say something along the lines of like, we got to make sure that they're, they got a lot on their plate. So we got to make sure that we aid them with like, social workers and take away some of their work off their plates, that type of shit. Op-ed book also features 10 pages of Hong staking out far-left positions on trans rights and gender issues. 2021, she supported taxpayer-funded task force to study the societal barriers of equality for intersecting gender non-conforming individuals. In 2022, Hong referred to pregnant women as pregnant people. That's so funny. Who cares? No, this is actually silly. This is actually silly. This kind of stuff is nothing. This kind of stuff in the hands of a decent communicator is just like, what are you? Okay, who cares? Like, who cares? Who cares? What are you talking about? It's all culture war. That one did one shot Anna. Like, as a guy who didn't do this shit, okay, as a guy who did not do this shit in the same exact time frame, I'm a professional political pundit. I've been doing this. I was around back then. You can go back. I didn't do this shit, right? But I never also like faulted people for doing it because I don't think it matters. I think people were just trying to be as courteous as possible. Who fucking cares? I think like obsessing over this in either direction is so unproductive. And that is my problem with quote unquote woke 1.0. Okay. That's it. That is the problem. That is literally the problem. And it made people so insane, bro. It made people on the right so insane. It blows my goddamn mind. Like, I'm telling you, I didn't do any of this stuff. I thought it was silly because I didn't think that that's how normal people talk. Okay. It's just not. Like, people were trying to be as accommodating as possible. And in an effort to be as accommodating as possible, they started talking in a way that normal people don't talk. And it made them look academic. It made them look inaccessible. It made them look strange and out of touch. Okay? It's just not how people talk. Now, of course, there are certain instances where it's valid for people to talk like this, in an academic setting, or if it's a doctor or something, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. It makes sense for people to use these terms in different settings. But if you're doing it in a broader setting as a legislator or whatever, yeah, it's a little strange and it comes across as though you're out of touch. But who cares? Like, the optics weren't great, but who fucking cares? How could you make this your life's mission? Like, as though we don't have any other broader problems, you know what I mean? Like, this always signaled to me that you were just, very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Only comfortable people are just like, what can I find to get pissed off about? You know what I mean? The voters kind of care. No, I know, but the voters wouldn't care if you were actually presenting them with something. Here, I'll give you an example. Okay? If someone is running on like universal child care, Medicare for all, as your governor, I'm going to do both of these things, right? I'm going to punish the utilities providers. I'm going to make sure they're no longer jacking up your prices. Also, Latinx. People are probably going to focus on the first three things, then the fourth thing, okay? If you offer people things, they hyper-focus on the things you're going to offer them, and they'll probably overlook some of the other shit that they find to be silly. Okay, that'd be really funny, by the way. My 4 policies. You know how like Abdul has Medicare for all, money in your pockets, money out of politics. It's what if his platform was money in your pocket, money out of politics, Medicare for all, Latinx, just out of nowhere. He was just like, and also Latinx. Hasan, they legit won off of the abolition of Thanksgiving tweets from 2019. No, they did not. That just didn't. That wasn't helpful because it fed into her, she's not electable, she's not ready for primetime argument. That's the only thing. If Caitlin Collins was like, hey, what do you think about Thanksgiving? Like, do you want to cancel it? And she was like, no, I don't want to cancel Thanksgiving. You know who's canceling Thanksgiving? Donald Trump, because it's impossible to afford food. That shit would have done LeBron numbers. And I'm talking young LeBron, not old LeBron. People would have went, brr, brr, brr. She's on it. How can you say this person is not electable? That's it. It's comms. It's comms. It's about using the moment and the opportunity to your advantage. Some people can do it. Some people can't do it, but you can always train someone to be able to do it. And yes, in the general, I think Francesca Hong would have been able to tighten up her comms. Do you understand? And after a certain point, they would have been like, yeah, I am sick and tired of addressing this stuff. Who cares? This is cancel culture in the opposite direction. What are we doing? Okay, I was more woke back then. Who fucking cares? I want to help Wisconsin. I want to help the people of Wisconsin. Okay? This is so ridiculous. This is exactly what's wrong with politics nowadays. Everybody talks about what you said 4 years ago, 5 years ago, instead of what I want to do now. What I want to do now for the people of Wisconsin. I'm a Wisconsin nationalist. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Oh, there's so many different avenues. There are so many different avenues you can go with that. You can be like, I'd rather have 2 woke tweets in 2020 than what Donald Trump was saying and doing in 2020 when he was telling people to drink bleach. You feel me? You get to hear your family members without the hum of a data center. Moms demand action. Wait, what the fuck? I'm not going to say anything about this. Great. It's great. It's awesome. Spanish is a gendered language, and in 2016 and 2020, there was a lot of talk about gender-inclusive language. Academics suggested Latinx is a possible way to be gender-inclusive. Okay, stop. Stop. We're not relitigating this shit. This is literally giving me... Guys, don't say anything about Oliver Larkin. Moms demand action. That's great. Okay, let's continue. Let's move on. Sometimes you don't have to show me stuff, okay? In 2023, she voted against a bill banning gender reassignment surgery for minors. That same year, she supported a local resolution that would make Dane County a legal sanctuary for trans and non-binary Wisconsinites. Again, beast mode, totally fine. She also opposed legislation requiring, like, you want to know the argument to this? The argument to this that's successful? I'll tell you the argument to this that's successful from a governor in a plus 35 Trump state. His name is Andy Bashar. Those are God's children. And these decisions should be made between their healthcare provider, just like abortion should be a decision made between a healthcare provider and the patient. These are decisions that should be kept to the doctors. I'm an American. I don't believe in government interference in these affairs. Boom. Those are God's children. Those are your neighbors. That's exactly what Andy Bashar said. And he was a lion for it. And he said it in Kentucky. Okay? And people love him. So you think Andy Bashar, who can say that in Kentucky and still win, you think that can't happen in Wisconsin? Get the fuck out of here. Most of these comments are probably to be expected from a DSA state legislation. Wait, this is it? That's it? They had nothing. Just all culture war nonsense. I thought there was something secret in here. What the fuck? This was ass. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, this is awesome. If this is what they got for Abdul, oof, great. Great. That was 300 pages of just literally them going woke, 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 woke. That was 320 pages, bro. Or 349 pages.